What up, guys? It's your boy Zay. So this is my Nats recap. I did, unfortunately and fortunately, finish 25th at Nationals with Foo. Um, Overall, I'm really glad with my choice. I am not disappointed that I took Foo. I don't think any other black leader could have gotten me that far, and there was actually one other Foo player. Um, Near me in the top tables too towards the last round. I think he lost his last round. So there were actually a lot of black decks there, but overall, I think Fu was the better decision, personally. And you guys should already know what Fu does. His front and back do the same thing. The front lets you self awaken, and you awaken at 4 less life, draw two. And they both you draw a card, proc the top or peep the top five. You grab a Fu or a Cumber and put it basically face up in a Z deck. And the backside of the leader is what made me play this leader. A lot of people fall into this. Even other people that played against Fu players at Nats fell into this. Um, Basically, it just allows you to redirect towards a Cumber and rest mode. A lot of people lost games to me because they comboed too high onto a battle card, onto a leader swing. One person unfortunately went for game. He comboed to like 80 or 90k, and I just redirected. A lot of people forget that this redirect is here. They'll read it, they'll understand it. It'll happen like once or twice, but in the final moments of the game, where like time unfortunately is a thing. Things get hectic and people just forget about it. So yeah, that the skill won me multiple multiple games. Went on to the main deck. I did none of this is in any specific order. But I did two dark rulers. It's only two because I main deck two other cantrips. The Overlord token, I never missed it. It didn't come up as often as like I would hope. I don't think I would change the ratio just based off the format and the other card I had in the deck in place of the other two. But it was fine. You mainly just need to play a cantrip, and he's one of the best ones you can play in Fu. Two supports. I don't think I need more than three for this deck. You just don't want to get double striked from 5 to 3, especially against U7. So that's mainly why it's there. Obviously, best super combo. No reason to play any other one in black currently. Super Fu. Card's amazing. I dislike the fact that they put a limit one on the dual attack when no other cards have that. But it is what it is. This card's amazing. No other card can give you, for 2 energy, a dual attacker and a 25 or 35k swing, and you'll see what I'm talking about that later. We played 4 of this Fu and 4 of this Fu. I played, I think my main deck is 55 cards, and I played 12 cantrips. If I was at like 52 or less, I would have probably cut this guy. He's the scheme set into motion is just a generic draw card. This Fu lets you search the top five for a Fu or a Cumber and add it to your hand. I almost never played this or wanted to play this. 9 times out of 10, you want to be playing the guy that draws a card, but it helps you adjust and fix your face-up Z deck. So I mean, they're both good, but the one that generically draws is, in my opinion, better. 4 of the 7 drop, you gotta play it. It's really a powerhouse. I almost never killed anyone with this. For the most part, I was just able to kind of grind people out of resources. But this card's amazing. 4 of the Hand Ripper, 4 of the Warper, and 4 of the Combo Guy. Because I was playing 55 cards, I had to max out on these. Beforehand, when I was playing like 52, I cut this down to 3 because he is not really that great past turn 2. When you're trying to set up your Fuzi and the Z extra. Um, but because I'm playing 55, just to keep consistency there, you have to max out on all of these, just so your consistency is there. And the main one, the most important one, honestly, is this Jet Black. Against U7, these two are the best ones because um, against U7, like if you go first, you're gonna play your cantrip, do whatever, and pass, and they're gonna play a one drop, swing, draw two cards, whatever, and then from there, you just want to keep playing Jet Black over and over again. Or if you go second, a lot of times U7 players will like they'll play a cantrip, pass. You play a cantrip, you should pass. And also, I don't take my life against U7. I make them swing at me and put me down. Just so I'm not giving them extra cards in hand. And I don't want to push myself like really low for them to like double strike me to 3 or something. And there were times where like on turn 2, people would just, because I'm high on life, they would just play a cantrip and pass when I had like this guy on like in my face of Z. So I would just play the Z Fu, understack him, and warp their one drop and just pass turn. And you can starve U7 out of advantage for a long time because they don't want to be playing one drops going into turn 3 and 4. They want to only play a cantrip, maybe turn 1, like definitely turn 1, and maybe on turn 2. So it's really good. Petrification, honestly the best negate in the game. It's not a floodgate, but it stops so much stuff. To be honest, I wish I side decked a 4th, but it did come up in certain scenarios, but nothing like too much to where like I really really wanted the 4th, but I think a 4th would have been nice. This Goku, he helped me out combo a few swings. It's good in some matchups. It's horrible in others. Like in U7, this is not a good against U7. This is not a good card. I would typically side out 1 only because you some are playing that Z extra, the Goku's Kamehameha, and it'll buff all Sun Gokus. Also, for people that don't know, I know you can't read it. I can't click it. This is a Sun Goku card, and I'm almost certain that the leader on the backside can, oh no, it has to switch to yellow Sun Goku, so you're safe on that. But they can just combo 2 guys, get 2 free draws, and you still have to deal with a 20k double striker. It may not get the +5 in servant, but you're still a 20k double striker because they can just free combo onto this guy and not lose any advantage. So I hate giving them this on the combo, but he's really good at just a cheap one drop 25k double strike. So he's good in most matchups, just not great in U7. Bardock Tenacious. This card won me games, and I also misplayed in a game with him. But this card is amazing, especially with the secret rare that I play. Floodgating your opponent preemptively is really good, especially when your opponent forgets that they're floodgated. So they'll swing with a battle card. So what I like to do sometimes is you just play this first, you floodgate them, and then you do some other plays. And by the time you pass turn, a lot of times your opponent has forgotten that you've done this. And you technically, you don't have to remind them, but you did floodgate them, and they'll swing with a battle card, swing with leader, then they'll do something else and waste more energy, and they've forgotten that they're floodgated, so they'll try to swing and they can't. That happened I think once, but this card's really good. Super Comment, actually, I almost didn't play this at 2, almost played it at 1 or none. This actually came up against my round 3 opponent, and it was crazy. Both copies came up. I would side to side against U7 because there's almost nothing that they would play that I want to Super Kame. Like most of them aren't playing Riposte or the Vegito, so this almost never comes up in that matchup, but every other matchup I would play this. Ghost Warriors. This is what I took out for the other two Mechikabura. I needed room in my side deck, and I decided to just main deck a cantrip because it was good against Android 21. It's just there because it's a cantrip. It doesn't ruin consistency or anything, and it's not. It's a card that I could side out if I want to. So it's just a generically decent card, and that's all. I opted to play this 7-drop Cumber over the 6-drop Dual Attacker. Against hand destruction, like Green Gohan, just being able to play the Super Fu into the 7-drop, it draws you a card. You can make it a 25k swing. You have a Dual Attacker and then Overlord. So for 2 energy, you get basically a triple attack 25 and draw 2 cards. It's really good, and it gets to stun something when it comes into play. You don't get any of the other skill, and you can also just play this for 1 energy if you have a Fu card in play. So that's just something that you should keep in mind as well. This card is actually pretty good. I like this over the Dual Attacker, even though the Dual Attacker is arguably better in some scenarios because it can consistently stun, and you can make it a 29k Dual Attacker with a Fu, but it just has no synergy with the 8-drop and any other parts of the deck. At least the 7-drop, I can play it without my opponent needing anything, and I can play it off the 8-drop. I think this one overall is better. Last few cards, I decided to play the Evil Saiyan Secret Rare over the Cumber. The Cumber Secret Rare is a lie. Don't play it. You're gonna lose if you play it, in my opinion. Because just every deck, red has a lot of ways to get rid of it now. Green can play 2 cards and get rid of it. Yellow can negate its skills, mainly U7, because they have the extra card that can negate its skills. So it may stop 1 damage, maybe 2. But overall, the Cumber is just not as good as Evil Saiyan. And Evil Saiyan is also better against certain matchups. Like, it's better against U7. They have to play a guy out to try to out this, and then you still get to steal something that they play because most of that deck is 7 or less. It gets really amazing against a really bad matchup, Cooler Mill. It's really good against 21. They have to play their they have to play either their secret rare to out this, or they have to play the 8-drop to out this. And if you've Ghost Warriored them, they're playing into the 8-drop, just doesn't do anything. So they're paying basically 8 energy to do nothing. And the secret rare sucks, but I mean, if they're playing it that early to out the Evil Saiyan, then it's whatever. But yeah, this card's really, really good. Way better. And you can kill people. Like, a lot of people weren't expecting this, and it's won me a lot more matchups than I think the Cumber would have. Last 4, I played a Secret ID. I just wanted removal for wide boards. You don't really struggle to remove stuff. You have the 6-drop that you can play for free. Your 7-drop is a 1-drop or a 2-drop. Into this, you don't struggle clearing battle cards in rest mode for the most part, but going wide, I don't want to waste like a 6-drop or a 6-drop on a token, and the 7-drop can't hit tokens, so I needed something to kind of be able to go wide, and this came up against a lot of different matchups. It was really good. I main decked 2 Protector of the People over like Power Burst and stuff. Free negates sound good until you realize like most of the matchups that you really want those free negates in, like, they would rather you take the life to do the free negate. And Power Burst is good, but it's only at best giving you a 1k or a 5k combo afterwards. It stops an attack and gives you a 5k, but at least with support, it was like you could stop the attack and potentially stop another attack if they don't have removal. And that was my mindset. And Protector to People is like a mini floodgate. It wasn't great when I played it. A lot of people knew how to play around it. But for some matchups, the Protector was like, dang, like, I kind of just got a pass turn. I don't want to swing into it. So it was decent, but if black had a better negate, I would probably play it, to be honest with you, or a better floodgate. I did play 2 Supreme Kai. This was Oceanus at first, but through kind of just some more theory crafting and kind of play testing a little bit, I found that Oceanus just it wasn't cutting it. I would rather pay the 1 energy over the 2, and this basically stops 2 attacks, and it also stopped the U7 6 drop. Obviously they can cooler counter it, but I'd rather pay the 1 energy instead of the 2. It's just a lot more flexible, and you can warp 3 cards fairly easily. The 7 drop warps something, the 6 drop jet black warps something from hand, this cumber warps a guy. So you're gonna be able to warp stuff relatively easy. And the last final card, I played an extra piece of removal. It's just a 30k body that swings, and it's spot removal. Having extra removal was decent, and at worst you can just side it out. And I also wanted an extra piece of Overwhelm because I was main decking 2, but there was one game against Cooler Mill where he milled both of my Overwhelms and then milled my secret rare, and you can't play the secret rare from your drop area. It can only be played from your warp or hand. So I just decided to go up to 55, and just so I had an extra way just in case this got milled or discarded. And it's a free overwhelm to be able to get this from my warp to play it eventually. So Z deck, I played 3 of this 1-drop foo. I contemplated on playing 4 or a 3-1 split or just a 2-1 split. And my mindset behind the 3-1 split is you need the barrier guy against red, especially if you're reading them playing the Gohan counterplay, which actually lost me a game, because I played this over this, and he countered, and I completely forgot Gohan's neg 20 was on the auto, so it killed this. And for the first like 3 to 4 turns, especially against U7, you just want to be playing this because this gets you 2 bodies when you have the Foo's Lab on board. So for 1 energy, you can get 2 20k swings, a removal, and a hand rip 9 times out of 10. So it's really, really good. This guy, like I said, is just barrier, so it makes it a little bit harder for decks to deal with and remove, versus this guy who he helps your consistency in filling up your Z deck, which is the main reason you need 3 of them. But outside of that, he almost never lives a single turn. If he lives more than 1 turn, then like your opponent either bricked or they just didn't do the right thing. If you remove this and keep forcing me to play more, then like eventually my Z deck will get like really low. And for the final card, we play the SS4 Goku. I didn't play Boo. The deck is already really defensive, and Goku and Boo do the exact same thing, except this can finish a game because he's double strike 25k. The Foo's Lab, I only played 2 because there were just times where I needed to discard to get a nude on board, and I needed to put the Foo's Lab back out there. It happened like twice at the event, and it was better safe than sorry. Side deck, I only sided 6 total cards, but I built my side deck to be able to hit multiple matchups for each card. I know the Black Mass Sand looks weird, but Koitsukai is there for Cooler Mill and 21 mainly. Deborah is there obviously for Gohan, and potentially any other random hand control matchups, but mainly for Gohan. Rebellion Hammer is really good against 21 and good against U7. This won me a few games against U7. I actually even overwhelmed twice against U7 and was able to play this for 1, which was really cool. Black Smoke, if you play against a unison deck that's like doing specified unisons 2 or less, I side this in. This is mainly for U7, not because I needed barrier removal, but if they play the Vegeta unison, you're just screwed. So I played 3 so I could see it and kill it. Um, Most times they never played it against me because it was just never a good time to do it past turn 2. Black Masan, um, this card hits a lot more matchups than what you think. So obviously one of the weirder matchups is 21. If they're playing the draw 2 that plays a token at the end of your turn, you can Koitsukai them and play Black Mass Hand, and they lose 4 cards out of hand. Um, it's good against Green Gohan, surprisingly, because they won't be able to do the Trunks play, the Trunks Vegeta play, because they're both 10Ks. And they don't want to lose cards out of hand like that. It's also pretty good against Jiren and good against another matchup that I played against. So this card is really, really strong. This format, surprisingly, and Meki Kabura is really, really good against Cooler Mill, because on a turn where you can play Meki Kabura, call Cooler 5, 90% of their deck's threats are done. So you go Meki Kabura, call Cooler 5, play like your secret rare the following turn or the same turn, and then you pass. They can't do anything unless they're playing Hercule Booze and Childs, which aren't really gonna kill you. And then the following turn you Koitsukai them, so now they have to play into your secret rare through a Koitsukai on top of the first card they're playing, which is 7 or less, gets stolen, and you get the autos because it's your turn. So that's really, really good. You basically win the game at that point. It's decent against other matchups. As you see, I wasn't playing Jiren. I just would always pass with 2 energy up, so I would just hope my opponents respected a Jiren enough not to tap 7 for turning the tide. But I would side Meki Gabora and just call turning the tide if I was afraid of it. And that's pretty much it for the deck. I know this was a long deck profile, but there was a lot of explaining to do. Also matchup wise, I had a bye round 1. Round 2 I played against 17-18. This was a relatively close matchup. I misplayed a little bit because I did not know what this deck did, but Black Mass Saiyan in the side deck was pretty good against it. It actually came down to time, and I won because I had more cards in deck. So yeah. Then there was Beerus Ramp that almost won. He was playing the counter attack Vegeta, where every time you swing, you have to snipe an energy. I was on 4 energy, and I swung through it and knocked myself to 3. He 6-dropped Vegeta the following turn and grabbed the Kaioken secret rare, but he couldn't play it because I was not at 4 or more energy because I sniped my own energy. And then that's when I said the super Kames came in handy, and I actually sided in Rebellion Hammer against that matchup, and it won me the game because I was able to Rebellion Hammer his Vegeta when he tried to play it against me again. So that, like, I double Super Kameh'd his Android 17. He played 2 of those, and then I Rebellion Hammered his Vegeta when he tried to play it. So it won me the game that turn. So that was really good. The next was my first loss. I played against U7 Gohan. He went first. He saw Gohan turn 1, Unison turn 2, Gohan after that, and Gohan after that, and just I was just getting sauced. And I also misplayed because the Gohan promo counterplay, I forgot that the neg 20k is on the auto and not the counterplay. So I just completely brain farted and should have played the barrier foo that turn instead. But I think I just got a little greedy, and then he played the 8-drop Son Goku, where neither player can play 25Ks or more. And then I comboed away a Kai instead of comboing the Bardock because I just completely forgot what that card did, and I couldn't play my Bardock on the following turn to floodgate him. So I just lost. I had two Protector of the People, and he killed me through both because he was able to pump his unison. The He was playing the Gogeta unison, or yeah, he pumped it, so it was 25k double strike, and then he played the 17-18 unison, and that had 20k triple attack. So he was able to attack me like 5 times before I even got one plus 5k, and I just couldn't win. Um, my next matchup was against Gohanks. It got pretty grindy, but unfortunately, he did not read Fu's lab correctly. Um, I d- he hand dumped on his Z leader to like 80 or 90k. I discarded a card from my hand, played a 6-drop Cumber in rest mode, and that was the game from there. Then I played against two U7s after that. I lost to the first one. I was put in a no, I beat the first one. Um, I lost a die roll surprisingly, but let's just say Rebellion Hammer puts in work. And basically controlling his hand and his battle area with these two Cumbers pretty much won me the game. And I just starved him out of resources. He was never able to play a 6-drop. And then by the time he would have been able to, I had the Evil Saiyan Secret on board, so it was a wrap. The next one I lost against, it was unfortunate because he went first. His board going into my turn 3 was so good, I had to tap out on my turn 3. And on his turn 4, he goes Majin Vegeta, double strike, 3-drop, or the U7 Vegeta dual attack, leader swing, which I should have negated with Support of the Dark Empire, but I just took a chance and it backfired. He comboed Piccolo Gohan, so he swung at me again with Piccolo Gohan, and then he 6-dropped me. So there was just nothing that I could do. And his 6-drop could attack like 4 or 5 times. He did all that for 3 energy, and he still had one more up to try to burn me with the 4-drop. So it was a wrap. And then I played against a Green Gohan. It was relatively tough. It kind of came close, but I was able to. He comboed to like 35 or 40k on a Goku swing, and I redirected, and because he forgot. And I also Evil Sand and sniped his Bursting Rage from his life. So that was pretty much the game. And then I lastly played against one more U7, and it came down to time on the final swing. Um, and he played the Vegeta Unison for 4 or 5 markers, and tried to hit me with the dual attack 20k double strike, I think it is. And unfortunately, time got called on the first swing, and I was able to out combo it. So it came really close. I finished 7-2, got 25th place, and that was pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the explanation, the deck profile, and I will see y'all at the next one. Peace.